Avengers Endgame was the final film of the Infinity Saga, and it was one of the most epic films I've ever seen. Avengers Endgame was the culmination of 23 films and 9 short films. That's a lot of viewing. And for me, it all flew by. I still watch the movies to this day over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I've seen all the movies in the MCU. Great storylines, characters, casting, the special effects. And my definition of good special effects, it doesn't get in the way of telling the story. So we are going to go look for some Avengers Endgame weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. You know, if you grew up reading comic books like I did, then the Infinity Saga is as close to fictional sci-fi meth as you can get. I think Captain America is currently my favorite character, always was. Now, which character is yours? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we should all know. Avengers Endgame is a 2019 superhero film produced by Marvel Studios, and it's directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the infamous Russo brothers. It is the direct sequel to Avengers Infinity War, a movie that was left on a sad note when Thanos won. Now, the story follows the remaining Avengers and their allies as they attempt to reverse the catastrophic damage caused by Thanos, who wiped out half of all life in the universe with a snap of his fingers. After discovering a way to travel through time, the Avengers embark on a daring mission to collect the Infinity Stones from various points in the past. Their goal is to undo Thanos' snap and bring back all of their fallen friends. The film culminates in an epic battle between the heroes and Thanos' army, leading to significant sacrifices and the ultimate defeat of Thanos. Avengers Endgame serves as a conclusion to several character arcs and storylines within the MCU, delivering an emotionally charged and action-packed finale. Weird thing number 5, Stanley's final cameo. Now, Stan Lee made cameos in almost every MCU movie, starting with Iron Man in 2008 and continuing through Avengers Endgame in 2019. His cameos became a beloved tradition and Easter egg for fans. Lee's cameos span a wide variety of roles, from a security guard in Captain America: The Winter Soldier to a FedEx man in Captain America: Civil War. Each appearance was unique and often humorous, showcasing his playful personality. Now, there is a very popular conspiracy theory that Stan Lee's cameos are all the same character, an informant for the Watchers, an ancient extraterrestrial race that observes significant events in the universe. Now, this theory was humorously acknowledged in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where Lee appears talking to the Watchers. As Stan Lee's health began to decline, Marvel Studios pre-filmed several of his cameos in advance to ensure his presence in future MCU films. This allowed him to appear posthumously in films like Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man: Far From Home. Now, there are a couple of websites, though, that claim that that is CGI and that it was not pre-filmed. But, as with anything, it's all kind of a conspiracy theory. Now, after Lee's passing in 2018, Marvel Studios paid tribute to him in various ways. For example, Captain Marvel featured a touching tribute during its opening credits, showcasing a montage Lee's cameos instead of the usual Marvel logo sequence. Additionally, his cameo in Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse was particularly heartfelt, with Lee voicing a character who sells Spider-Man costumes and delivers a memorable line about heroes. Weird thing number 4, biggest box office of all time. Now, Avengers Endgame initially surpassed Avatar to become the highest grossing film of all time, earning $2.798 billion worldwide. Now, Avatar reclaimed that role in 2021, but it required them re-releasing Avatar in China in 2021. But if you're looking at just first release film, biggest box office, Avengers Endgame by far. Endgame shattered numerous opening weekend records. It grossed $357 million in the USA and Canada and $1.223 billion worldwide, marking the first film to ever exceed $1 billion in its opening weekend. Now, the film became the fastest movie to reach $1 billion mark globally, achieving this milestone in just 5 days. It used to be they measured the opening box office for Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. Now it's like they open it up on Wednesday and then they count that as the whole weekend. I find it odd, but that's how they do it. Now, it also reached $2 billion in record time, taking only 11 days. Now, the Chinese box office significantly contributed to the film's success. Endgame earned approximately $614 million in China alone, making it the highest-grossing foreign film in the country at that time. In the United States and Canada, Avengers Endgame grossed over $858 million, making it the second highest-grossing film domestically, just behind Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Weird thing number 3. The fat suit worn by Chris Hemsworth weighed about 60 to 70 pounds. It was constructed with prosthetics and padded to give Thor a significantly bulkier appearance, representing his physical transformation due to depression and guilt. Now, there were multiple versions of the fat suit created to accommodate different types of scenes. Some were designed for more static scenes, where others were built for more action scenes, allowing for greater mobility. Now, wearing the suit was uncomfortable and hot for Hemsworth. The actor has mentioned in interviews that he would sweat a huge amount inside the suit, making it quite a challenging experience during the filming. The decision to depict Thor in this way was a deliberate choice by the filmmakers to show a different side of his character. It symbolized his emotional and psychological struggles following the events of Avengers Infinity War, adding depth and vulnerability to his character. Now, the portrayal of Fat Thor received mixed views from fans and critics. Some praised it for its boldness and the way it addressed mental health issues, while others felt it was used too much for comedic effect. Regardless, it became one of the most talked about aspects of Avengers Endgame. Weird thing number 2, the criticisms. The rules and consequences of time travel in the film were seen as inconsistent and confusing, leaving some plot holes unaddressed. Some characters, like Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, were perceived to have unsatisfying or underdeveloped character arcs, particularly in comparison to others that didn't quite have as much involvement in the overall plot lines. The film's first act was considered slow by some viewers, with a lengthy setup that contrasted with the more action-packed finale. The portrayal of Bruce Banner as Professor Hulk received decidedly mixed reviews, with some feeling the transformation happened too abruptly and lacked sufficient, if any, backstory at all. While some appreciated the bold depiction of Thor's depression, others felt his transformation into Fat Thor was played way too much for comedic effect. It undermined the gravity of his character's struggle and belittled people dealing with those struggles in real life. And finally, weird thing number 1. The final battle was the largest ensemble cast in one scene in the history of Hollywood, bringing together nearly every major character from the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, up to that point, including heroes from different franchises and standalone movies. Coordinating the schedules of so many high-profile actors was a massive logistical challenge. And filmmakers had to carefully plan and stagger the shooting schedules to accommodate the availability of each actor. Now, due to the sheer number of characters and actors involved, many parts of the final battle were shot using digital compositing. Actors filmed their scenes separately on green screens, and the footage was later combined using visual effects to create the seamless epic battle. Some characters appeared together for the first time on screen during the final battle. For instance, heroes from Guardians of the Galaxy fought alongside the Avengers, and newer characters like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man teamed up with established ones like Captain America and Iron Man. To me, Spider-Man alone had always been treated kind of like this completely separate character, and then all of a sudden they brought him into the Avengers, and that to me was a little closer to the comic books. Now, the final battle allowed for several emotional reunions between characters. Notably, Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, shared a heartfelt moment after being separated since the events of Infinity War. Spider-Man literally died in his arms. These reunions added a significant emotional depth to the battle sequence. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you loved it. Please like and subscribe. Click the videos above, and if you are still watching, today's code word is SNAP. Put that in the comments to acknowledge one of the best comic book movies of all time. Take care, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.